All right, welcome back. Biden will repeal Title 42 this week and intentionally inflict even more chaos at our southern border. Hoping to dupe Americans into believing that the administration is trying to fix this, the White House is sending 1,500 active duty troops to the border, not to stop the massive influx that they are asking for, that they're inviting. No, just to help process the hundreds of thousands of migrants that they have invited into your country. Senator Lindsey Graham joins us now to talk about this. Sir, it's good to have you back on the show. The actions of this administration on immigration are so vile, so antithetical to the survival of any great Western nation. It just feels like self-destruction.
Yeah. It really is. It's incompetence, but there's a willful nature to this. Yeah. So we're having about 6,300 people a day come over in the last 90 days, about 550,000. They estimate on May the 12th, after Title 42 is repealed, it goes up to 10 to 13,000 a day. And the troops, as you say, are not going down there to turn people back. They're going down there to create personnel to process paperwork that will encourage more to come. Very irresponsible, very dangerous.
Yeah, and again, it's willful. It's intentional. Let's not pretend like this has any. I mean, this is implemented to inflict some kind of damage on this country, like so many of the other policies. This is try to figure out why it's happening. Your Senate Judiciary Committee held an ethics hearing yesterday, so Democrats could manufacture the appearance of a corrupt Supreme Court. This was Rhode Island Senator Sheldon Whitehouse. Take a look.
Only Supreme Court justices refuse to allow their conduct to be investigated or reviewed. Which brings us to Justice Thomas's recent non-disclosure of supposed personal hospitality from a right-wing billionaire and its problems. Some of this personal hospitality involved people dedicated to turning the court into a tool for right-wing billionaires.
You know, I thought that there was a limit, at least in the Senate, to how low these people would go in order to get something done or to influence. There's not a limit. This is really astounding.
Well, what it is a concentrated effort to destroy the legitimacy of a conservative court. The Democratic response to the Roberts Court has been to pack the court. You know, they're literally talking about increasing the numbers of judges from 9 to 13 to dilute the conservative majority. They're going after Alito, Thomas, and what did we learn? We've learned that Supreme Court justices have amended their financial disclosures numerous times. We've learned that the forms that were used when this happened did not require the disclosure that we're talking about today. The one thing I found that was so stunning to me is in 1998, Justice Ginsburg basically signed a copy of the VMI decision that required women to be admitted to state-sponsored male schools like VMI. And she gave it to the National Organization of Women to be auctioned off as a fundraiser. Now, that violates judicial canons, but nobody said anything about that. Nobody on the left thought that was sort of out of bounds. Can you imagine if Alito signed a copy of the Dobbs decision and gave it to a pro-life group to raise money? Holy hell would break out. So what we learned yesterday is this is an effort to delegitimize the court, and it's not going to work.
It is astonishing to watch, and again, the lengths that they will go to try and push their political will. They will stop at nothing. They don't care who they destroy. They don't care what they damage in this country. They talk so much about they talk so much about wanting to protect the institutions. They'll eviscerate them in 2 seconds to get what they want done. And Kavanaugh was a great example.
Can we follow up on that a little bit? Okay. They want to make D.C. and Puerto Rico state. They want to do away with electoral college so New York and California can pick the judges. They want to expand the Supreme Court. They want to get an outcome. They don't care how they get it. Look what they did to Kavanaugh. They tried to ruin a good man's life. So it's not going to work.
Yeah, well said. I want to get to the debt limit real quick before I let you go. Senate Republicans yesterday standing fairly strong. I don't think that the proposition that came out of the House is nearly strong enough. It still leaves us with crippling debt in this country, but it's on the right track. McCarthy's scheduled to meet with Biden next week. How do you think this ends? Because we're getting, June 1st is coming up very fast. This is a big deal.
Yeah. Well, I think there will be no debt ceiling increase without some addressing of the debt. It'd be irresponsible to do it. Kevin did a hell of a job. He got the Republicans to pass a bill that I think moves the country in the right direction. And here's what your listeners need to understand. We're not going to undercut Kevin McCarthy in the Senate. There will be no effort by Senate Republicans to work with Senate Democrats to undercut the House passed bill. So we're going to require Kevin and Biden to sit in a room and figure this out. The best thing we can do for our House colleagues is to shut down the idea that Schumer's going to come up with a plan to undercut Kevin. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. There's no way. It's so unsustainable, the pace that we're spending. And it's amazing that so few people really understand that and really care about it in Washington. That's very scary. Senator, thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate it.